There we are.
Oh, it does say live on Facebook. All right, I think we are live. Welcome everybody to our fourth and final Chart-O-Thon of this series. My name is Betsy and I'm so happy that you're joining us today. We have four of our incredible advanced human design specialists on our panel today: Alana Heim, Maria Masters, Maggie Ostara, and Sandra Lee. And the questions that we are taking today are focused around life purpose in the chart, and specifically the energetic theme related to Chiron, or the relationship between Saturn and Jupiter in your chart and how it relates to your life purpose. So people have already submitted many questions. I want to say in advance, I don't think we can get through all the questions that were submitted today because we had so much interest. This is a very popular topic, apparently. So if we don't get to your question today, please excuse us. We're going to do our best to get to as many as we can. So in order to do that, let's go ahead and get started. And I am going to hide myself here so that you can see our lovely panelists. And we are going to get started with Alana. So let me also share my screen so that you can see what we're talking about today. All right, great. So Alana, the first question is from Heike. I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. And they ask, could you give me a brief explanation of the energetic theme of Chiron as it relates specifically to my chart? And their Chiron is in gate 63 and 22.
Good morning and welcome everyone. I'm so excited to be able to share with you. So Heike, we're going to dive into the Chiron and I want you to just, and here's the piece. Sometimes I don't have all the information. So I don't quite know what age you're in, like how close you're getting. So looking at the Chiron activation is going to come in around age 50. So this is this aspect of a wounded healer, and it's a huge growth opportunity for you and something that you're going to be challenged by, but you're also able to bring that in so you can help others. So we're looking here at the gate 63, and this is where in a lower expression, you might have some doubt. It's a head energy. And so are there places in your life where as the projector, you're doubting yourself, your knowingness? And I want you to just really recognize that this challenge is here to help you to build that mastery, so that the more that you're really tuning in and asking the right questions and getting curious, that's going to help you unconsciously with that gate 22, where you're going to start to see more of the beauty, not just around you, but within you. And then you really get to share all of the growth of how you've had to overcome whatever obstacles in your life, and you help others do the same.
Beautiful. Thank you, Alana. All right, moving to Maria. This question is for you. This is from Belinda. And she asks, I'm interested in understanding more about the relationship between my Jupiter and Saturn. Thank you.
Hello, Belinda, and everyone. I'm so happy to be here this morning. Oh, thanks for making it big, Betsy. I think that's good for everybody. So we're looking at the relationship between the Saturn and the Jupiters. And first of all, in Saturn, you have the 13, which is all about the personal narrative. It's about how we talk to ourselves and what we say about ourselves. And wonderful questions are, wow, is the story I'm telling myself now empowering me? Is it giving me good energy? Or is it taking me down? Because we have choice about our narrative. So we have our own narrative, and the gate 13 is on the G center, and it is about self-forgiveness. If we have regrets in our lives from our own story, then there's the forgiving ourselves is really important, because other people will bring their stories to us, and those who have the 13 will bring to those who have the 13 their stories of pain. And the 13 then, who has healed their own pain, can offer a new story that can be very uplifting. Now, this is wonderful for the 41 on the other side with the Saturn, because this is holding a really beautiful evolutionary vision. And it's really holding it and embellishing it and waiting for the right people, the right timing to come to assist with the making that vision happen. And there's a lot of passion in that. It comes from, we're waiting for divine timing there with the 41. And then as we begin to master the Saturn, because Saturn's the master teacher, so we want to show up for class with Saturn. And when we do, and we bring mastery into it, then you have a beautiful blessing of the gate 22 then in Jupiter, which is the grace to follow our passion, the passion in that dream in the Saturn, and to know that we are supported. And the 55 is the other side, which is so beautiful. If we looked from where the 55 actually flows into the 22 in the emotional center, and the 55 is all about trusting and having faith that we are supported by the divine. And remembering that when we forget and doubt ourselves. So really, these two Saturn gates are quite wonderful for the two Jupiter gates.
Thank you, Mom.
Belinda, go for it.
Go for it, Belinda. Awesome. All right, we're going to Maggie for this next question. This is from Milan, and they ask, I'm interested to know more about the relationship of Saturn and Jupiter in relation to their purpose, their calling, and their profession, whatever you find most relevant. I'll zoom in here for you again.
Yeah, I'm just getting a picture here. Okay. So good morning, everyone. And the dance between Saturn and Jupiter is just such a great thing to focus on in your life purpose, because as Maria was just saying, Saturn is really your teacher. It's your lessons. It's the energy that you want to grab a hold of and be able to work with on a really consistent basis throughout your life. So you've got you've got Saturn in the 1 and Saturn in the 28. And so your 1 is all about your self-expression. It's coming off the G center, and it really has to do with you being willing to show yourself and to come out and to express yourself. And the 28 is traditionally known as the gate of struggle. And you've got it double defined in your chart. Your Mars is also there. And so this is a particularly important theme for you because it is double defined for you. And the 28 is a super potent energy. I have it defined in my chart too. I've danced with it a lot. And you can, in its lower expression, it can feel like life is really hard and everything is a struggle. But when you grab a hold of that and you perceive yourself and decide in your self-concept that you are on that leading edge of consciousness as it is evolving, you'll realize that those struggles are there in order to help you to grow and help you to be able to become more and for your consciousness to expand. So if you can take hold of that 28 energy and turn it not only into the challenge opportunity, but even into a sense of I am adventuring on the edge of what's possible, then it can become a great ally for you. When you do that and you're able to do that partially through expressing yourself, then your self-love will grow because your Jupiter is in the 10 and your Jupiter is in the 9. And so you're going to really have this sense of your self-love. I really see the self-love as resting on your ability to make that change around the 28 so that you can fully feel that it is something that is there to guide you rather than something that is going to get in your way. And when you do that, you're able to bring all of your energy into focus to create what you want in your life. So I'm just going to close with this one idea that I always like to share, which is that when you have all of the energies are potent, but some are more potent than others, and the 28 and the 10 are among them. When you can grab a hold of them and manage them in your life, direct them where you will, then that is a huge ally for you. And if you don't, they can manage you and you can feel like you're at the mercy of them. So just see how Saturn can help you with that.
I love that, Maggie. Thank you so much. All right, Sandra, this next question is for you. And Diana is wondering what their life purpose and energetic theme of Chiron is. They're asking in relation to its conjunction to Venus in their chart. I don't know if you want to address that, but the life theme of Chiron here.
Hi, Diana. Nice to meet you. So As we've been talking about, Chiron is an area where you have lessons and growth opportunities that can help with transformation. So you have the gate 12 in both your Chiron and in your Venus. 12 meets with the 22 in a full channel. So to me, this says that the whole channel is really activated as part of this whole lessons, growth, transformation opportunity. So looking at the gate 12 as being about caution and being the right timing for moving forward. And then looking at the 22 as being grace and openness, and then together they really bring in the energy of creativity. This is your emotional wave. So you asked, so it's like, how do I heal this issue? Paying attention to that emotional up and down for you. And this is also your authority. So how you make decisions. So being understanding about that. The other part of your Chiron is the gate 52. So this is like having the space to just kind of chill with what's going on, with the decisions you're making, and going to that place of stillness. Like slowing down enough rather than jumping all over the place. So it's like allowing your emotional wave to take you to the right places and help you know when is the right timing for me to move forward, to allow yourself that contemplation time, that stillness time, so that you can make the decisions that feel right and empowering to you. Your other part of your Venus is the gate 15. So it's like to sometimes be able to change up the way you do things, change up the patterns or the routines. So it's like allowing yourself to go to that still place, follow your emotional wave, and then have that help you know which way to go and how to make shifts.
I love that. I love looking at this question in the conjunction. Thank you, Sandra. That's great. All right, Alana. I don't know if it's Eva or Ava. If I mispronounce your name today, I apologize profusely. She asks, currently I'm at a place in my life where I once again have to find out anew where my strength lies job-wise. I'm 45, have worked some time abroad, and find it very hard getting a new job back in my home country. I'm in my second year without a proper job now. Just recently, I found out about human design, and in context with my chart as a projector, what should I get involved in? What am I good at? And how does the relation of Jupiter and Saturn reveal something more specific for how they can fulfill their life purpose best?
Hi, Eva. Welcome to Human Design. And you are a projector, and having kind of got to age 45, recognize this is a big part of learning to be very masterful with your energy. So you do have an undefined root. And what's really interesting is your, let me look here, the Saturn. Both of these gates, the gate 53, which is all about having the ability to wait, to find the patience, to be able to start something, but only when the time is right, when your energy is correct, when you've received the invitation. And the other aspect is the gate 39, which is also a root energy. So having this undefined root, there's already a lot of pressure. There's pressure for you to get started, for you to get out there to, let's say, provoke others in this really unique individual way. That's an aspect of the gate 39. So recognizing that all this waiting, this is what you're here to master. And maybe that's an aspect of why even in your career or finding this new job, there's a timing to it, right? There's a recognition that I want you to really see for yourself. And when you are able to recognize this timing, and then be recognized, you're going to have the blessing of this emotional energy, the gate 37. And that's an energy where it's all about harmony and friendship and connecting with others and being able to really be in that tribe that you're probably seeking a little bit, because that is a tribal energy. And it's also pairing with the gate 63, which is allowing you to have that energy that you already have the channel up in your head in Ajna, being curious, being able to ask the questions, being the guide as the projector that you are. You're already here to guide others, not to tell them what to do, but to ask the questions that are also going to allow for you to ask yourself and be able to project that out and help others. Blessings.
Thank you, Alana. Okay, Maria, this next question is for you from Bonnie, and they're asking if you can talk about the relationship between Saturn and Jupiter in their chart as well, and how it relates to their life purpose.
Gladly. Hi, Bonnie. This is a wonderful discussion to have, because in Saturn, you have the gate 48, which is the gate of wisdom. And it's wisdom through depth, through having the courage to dive deep. I mean, you have a drive to dive deep. And so Saturn is going to say, yes, go deep down, discover what is the wisdom in whatever it is you are deeply called to, which is a wonderful thing. And the 48, the kind of backside of the 48 is like, oh, I can't go out and share this because I don't know enough yet. It can be like, I don't know, I'm a feeling of inadequacy. But actually, if you are willing to just go with you, first you check it out, because this is a very intuitive energy as well about, is the timing right to share? Is the person right who's asking me to share? So you can use your intuition to know who and when and what situation is a safe one to share, because the 48 is about creating a foundation that makes you feel comfortable and secure and safe. And when that foundation is there with the courage to share and just dive in, you know, I'm not in danger, go ahead, share some of what I know. I know plenty. Then you have the blessings in your Jupiter, and the Jupiter in your on the black side there. The 21 is about self-management of your own energy based on self-value. And so if we don't have enough self-value and the 21 is defined, there can be a sense of, I need to manage other and manage the environment all around me, because, you know, I've got to be in control here. This can be a control freak on the backside, but on the front side of the coin, it's really beautiful because it shares with others. It's generous. It's generous with itself, with oneself, and generous with others. And oh my gosh, on the other side, you have the 17, which is traditionally it's the gate of opinions. And if we don't know how to manage this energy, we want to push our opinion out there and defend it and be right about it. But the beautiful thing about the 17 is, in its higher form, it's a very far seeing. It sees that everyone's opinions have value for them in their context. And in that way, a blessing is that you can have your opinion without that energy of having to defend, and you can honor other people's opinions. And when you have that, other people will feel safe around you, because below that, you have this beautiful depth of wisdom as you master your Saturn energies and the depths of what you're most interested in bringing to the world. It's that wisdom you share with the world, the wisdom of being far-seeing and knowing everyone's opinion has value in the world. It takes all of us to make a great thing happen here. And then the 21 of the generosity with self and others. So
Beautiful.
enjoy that.
Yes.
It's beautiful.
Absolutely. All right, Maggie, this is Sonia, and they're asking, this is more of a general question about Chiron, about when the Chiron return actually starts. And actually, do any of you have a 6 line in your profile? None of us have a 6 line. Wow. So I guess that Sonia has less than 17 months until they turn 50 and go through their Chiron return. So I don't know if you want to just talk about the Chiron return as a general question and what that means and how it can feel for people sometimes.
Yeah, because I noticed there's actually no Chiron on this chart.
Yep, but it's a general question, so it's all right.
Chiron.
Yeah.
So hi, Sonia. So yeah, so this will be a little bit more of a general response. So, you know, the Chiron return happens somewhere between age 48 and 52. And we often say around age 50, because it's like right in the middle of that. And I have been through that. I'm 61. So I can remember what that was like for me. I'm not a 6 line, but you know, as Sandra already spoke to today, it is a time of, it's another kind of challenge opportunity moment, right? Where as the traditional human, traditional wounded healer, it's when we get to see what are the wounds that we've had in our life that have been repeating. We've had patterns where it keeps coming up over and over again. And if we haven't resolved that, and this is, you know, if we just look in the world of somatic psychology, this is where trauma lies, right? And trauma does keep coming to the surface until we resolve it. And so this is one of the things that your Chiron can help you see. I know for me, around when I was turning age 50, the big thing that I did was I made a decision to show up in the world in relation to my business in a different way. And I actually created a whole different way of thinking about who I was, and that I had some pain around the way that I had been working and the way I had been showing up, and what I thought was, you know, appropriate for me or not. And so I just took that moment, with not even knowing human design back then, but I felt this impulse to create my life really anew and to go forth in a different way. And what I did then has been a foundation of what I've done ever since. It was a big change in the way that my self-concept, and in terms of also my value, like Maria was saying, you know, it was like my self-perception of my value, and also the contribution I could make to the world. And there were different points of, you know, a pain inside myself that I needed to face and resolve and really work with while I was doing that. So the thing I would say to you is to look at what kind of patterns that you feel are emotionally charged in some way. You may or may not like think of them as being related to trauma, because we tend to think of that as like some big thing. But if you think of trauma as simply an imprint, an emotional imprint that you have that hasn't gotten resolved yet, which is kind of classic wounded healer, what is it that you can really work with, and in a very loving and compassionate and kind way with yourself, seek to resolve? And often getting support for that is very, very helpful at that time. So I hope that was helpful to you. I can't say anything more specific because I don't know where Chiron is in your chart.
Thank you, Maggie. That was great. Yeah, I think I've heard some people describe Chiron return for people with a 6th line as kind of like a Saturn return on steroids a little bit, where it's like if they're out of alignment, you know, that burning away of the dross or anything that's out of alignment, it just really falls away as you're called into that role model. And I think your comments about healing and coming back into alignment makes so much sense. Thank you. All right, Sandra. Gail is at a crossroads in determining what they need to do for work. And they left a toxic corporate job and don't know what work to go into now. And they're wondering what relationship of the energies in their Saturn and Jupiter in their chart have to define what they need to pursue in terms of career.
Hello, Gail. So when I looked at your chart, what I immediately noticed is that you have 4 full channels and a gate in the knowing circuit. So individual. So you being a very individual person, having your own personal way, might not have fit in very well in a corporate environment with corporate expectations and having to follow corporate rules. So you are a 1-3 profile. And so you're designed to experiment. And looking at your Saturn, the gate 36 is going to experiment, try different things like adventure. So the first thing about where you might want to go is to recognize that you're going to be trying different things, could be travel also. So it's like recognizing that experimental and individual part of you. So it's like playing your own tune, doing your own thing, perhaps. And then looking at the other part of your Saturn as being the gate 63. So the gate 63 wants to be able to explain things so that people understand them, have things be logical. So you have this 6447 and the 634. So it's like there's a part of you that just has things that come in and you don't necessarily know how to explain them, but you are maybe better average than other people at being able to explain them. So when you find this balance between the newness, the trying things, experimentation, and working with this logical piece, that might be a good place for you in terms of your work. You might really find your strengths in being able to take things that are maybe difficult for people to understand and to help them understand. And when you find a balance with that Saturn, then your Jupiter will be able to lead the 45.
Beautiful. Thank you. All right, Lana, we're coming to Carol's question. They're wondering if you could speak to the positive and or challenging effects of Jupiter and Saturn in their chart and how best to work with them for the highest good. Sounds like they have a feeling of a daunting information overload, decision immobility, forgetfulness, but for the present moment that they've been experiencing. So they're wondering if Saturn and Jupiter play into that at all.
Hi, Carol. Here's what first jumps out. You do have your birth time, so I know that you've already gone through your first and second Saturn returns. So if Saturn is still playing out, it's because there's still mastery for you in the gate 9 and the gate 34. So both of those are sacral energies, and you are a generator. And as a generator, it's all about making sure that you are listening to your sacral, that there is this focus and that you're able to really kind of tune into the things that are important, and pairing that with the gate 34, this power, you have this ability to really be empowering for others, for yourself, and it all comes through that sacral response. What may be coming up, because you're talking about the information, the challenges, the overload of decisions and forgetfulness, that's all mind games, right? That's up here in the head and ajna that's undefined for you. So I don't know whose head or ajna you're in, right? So I just want to make sure that you are dropping into your sacral response, the that's coming up, that you're really tuning in, you're listening, that you are focusing on that feeling, that sound, that's allowing you to be more masterful in using this energy that basically that Saturn is bringing to you as this lesson, so that it can open you up to the embodiment of really tuning in. And because you are a single definition, all of these energies are connected. Your work, your mastery ties to who you are, that you're embodying and really receiving these blessings of being true to your identity, being true to who you are, listening to what is correct for you, that you are committing to the things that are correct for you. And all of the chatter in your mind starts to dissipate because it's just not relevant. It's within you. And that's going to also help with the gate 47, this kind of mental energy where the blessings start to come through when you're holding true to the mindset that you want to keep, and that you're able to really listen to your truth, and you're going to have the mindset that supports you. It's not going to imprison you. So I hope that's helpful, because there's lots of really cool components weaving together for you. And because you're past that second return, this is where you just continue to grow deeper in your mastery. Thanks, Carol.
Yes, thank you, Lana. All right, Maria, this is Hester's question. Wondering if you can share your insights concerning their purpose and Chiron, but they don't seem to know what Chiron is. So, and at the same time, feeling stuck and empty, there's a drive and power inside of them that they can't feel like they can't seem to reach. I'll zoom in here.
Yes. Well, just to begin with Chiron again, Chiron is where we have our deepest wound and our greatest gift. So, and it's the beautiful thing about Chiron is it's a spiritual journey throughout our life. And we will have many opportunities to work with the energy of this wound so that we can bring ourselves into an understanding of the wound. And in that understanding, we can bring ourselves to having a neutrality with it where we know what it is, but we're no longer traumatized. So we need to work with some trauma here. But it can have happened, but yet that's not what we're carrying. What we're carrying is a beautiful gift in our story that we can share with others. And I love this about Chiron, because it will always keep coming to invite us to, let's bring our frequency higher with this wound, and higher and higher. And then, oh, what a gift to share, because you'll have much to share with others. Let's see. I know there was something more I wanted to say. It's all for our evolution and our growth, whatever our Chiron is. So when we look at yours, it's in the 45. And this is really a gate. It's this is known as the gate of the ruler. Could be the emperor, the queen, the king, whatever. And really what this gate is about, it's about knowing that knowledge and material goods have power. And how do we want to use that power that we have? So you will be invited again and again throughout your life to make a choice within this powerful place for you. And the high expression of this is to use the powers that we have to create goodness in the world for others, for the people around us, the job that we have, the family that we have, where we enhance and embellish good for everyone. We distribute the goods equally so that everyone has a good life. And this is a beautiful thing. And so there was one more thing. Yeah, this is a path of service, actually. It's like I always make notes, because there will always be something. This is a path of service in its highest. And even you can put your Chiron every time you're invited to, how do I want to use my power? How do I want to use my energy? How do I want to use the knowledge that I have, the material goods that I have? And when we use that in service to ourselves as well as everyone, that's a beautiful thing. And you have a lot of individual energy in your chart. So you are a person who you're going to do it your way. And if you're feeling kind of stuck and empty, it might be that you might be feeling like you have to do it in a cultural way, in an ancestral way, in how your family taught you ought to be doing it. You might be stuck because you're deeply individual, and you might be following the wrong trail in terms of what you might have been taught when you were young, or what are your family's traditions, or the cultural traditions here. So I would explore that. Ask questions, like Alana said earlier. Ask questions of yourself, such as, what's making me feel stuck? If I were unstuck, what would I be like then? What would happen then? Start asking exploratory, self-loving, and curious questions. Curiosity is a beautiful thing. So enjoy that, and enjoy this beautiful invitation to serve. Yeah.
Curiosity is a beautiful thing. Yes, it is.
Oh, yeah.
All right, Maggie, this one's for you from Kim, wondering about their Jupiter-Saturn relationship and how they can apply it in their life.
But yeah, I have to unmute myself.
Yeah.
Kim. Yeah, so I just love the Saturn-Jupiter. I really do. So your Saturn is in the 30, is in the 60 and in the 41. So with your 60, so these are both on the root, and they're both on an open root. And Alana was just talking about that a few minutes ago, kind of the qualities of that. And you look at you have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 defined gates on an open route. Okay, so you're going to be experiencing a lot of pressure that's coming up. If you just think of it energetically, it's coming up through the root. So you're going to have a lot of energy that's pushing out into these open, into these defined gates. So one of the things you just kind of want to look at in general for yourself is what all of those gates are on your route, and how are you experiencing those different energies, because that's a really important part of what's going on in your chart right now. And so to have both of your Saturn gates are here on the root is you want to be looking at, so your 60 is really about, what is a practical way for me to be evolving in my life, and how does that play out in how I am feeling the need to be doing, and the need to be getting things done, and the need to be active, because that's part of what you're going to feel, especially with an open root, is this, I need to get things done. Okay, I have this pressure to get things done. And how does that relate to your sense of, I'm really here to be, I'm evolving, but I'm doing it in a really kind of practical, step-by-step way. But then you're 41, you've got this tension with the 41, which is much more kind of expansive and about imagination and about vision and what's possible. So you've got one energy that's much more practical, and another one that's much more kind of expansive and living more in the imaginative realm. So that is what we might call a conundrum, or I like to call it a creative tension that's in your chart. So how do you dance with both of them? Because they're both valuable. And so you want to be able to grab a hold of both of them and value them, and not have them be in a fight with each other, where you're feeling like one is canceling the other one out, or one is privileged over the other. So that's one thing, is just to be like, how do I take that? And then Saturn is going to say, you need to do that step by step by step, because Saturn, as the taskmaster, right, and the teacher, really likes you to take things and work with it. You got to think of it as kind of the Capricorn energy and the mountain goat energy, right? It's like one step in front of the other, right? So you want to work with those energies in that way. Okay, and so then your Jupiter is in the 40 and in the 4. So you're also going to feel pressure in that 4, because now you've got pressure coming down through your head, coming into the 4. And that is going to be what you're going to be wanting to have answers to questions as part of the logic circuit. And it's coming through the part that's like the curiosity, coming into the part that I want to know. And so you're going to feel extra pressure to want to know what the answer is. And that's dancing with your Saturn, what's going on down there, which is like, I want to do. So be aware that you've got this pressure coming down through here, and this pressure coming up from the bottom. And so when you can learn to dance with those energies, and not, like I said, have them be managing you and pushing you, then they can become allies for you. And the 40 is this, it's often called loneliness, but I find it to be much more about this, because this is a tribal energy, and this is for you where you are so involved in making sure that everything's working in the tribe, that you need to take time to be on your own. You need to take time so that you can connect with yourself. And sometimes you might feel lonely while you're doing that, but mostly it's really self-care for you. So if you think about that in terms of having all this pressure coming from both sides, you might need time on your own to be able to deal with that pressure, because part of what you might do is attract people into your life that amplify that pressure. And so you want to be able to go, whoa, okay, that's just pressure. It's just energy. I don't actually have to know the answer all the time. And I don't actually have to be doing all the time. And sometimes I just need to be on my own, kind of doing my own thing, and finding what's really true for me.
Love that. Thank you. I'm just going to say that to all of you when you answer all the questions. I do. I love it.
It's really fun hearing everybody. I'm really enjoying it.
I know. I am too.
Yeah.
All right. We've got another Sonia for you, Sandra, asking if you can help them get a better understanding of their Chiron. They're 49. So they're about to go through they're kind of right at the beginning of that Chiron return. They say, I seem to be able to only ever increase my money flow by a bit, or when there is a practical necessity for a limited time. So understanding my Chiron and being able to consciously work with it seems very relevant in that respect too, with it being in the gate 21.
Hello, Sonia. So with Chiron in the gate 21, one of your big lessons is learning to sustainably manage your resources. And it seems like this has been maybe a lifelong issue for you. So it's perfect. Okay. Now, in addition to having this, you also have a completely undefined will center, the little triangle near the diamond in the middle. Okay. So that means you are here to experience the whole realm of human possibility associated with worth and value. So how do you get through this? I encourage you to recognize that money is not the only resource you have. You have a whole realm of resources in your treasury. So energy, time, skills, food, friendships, relationships, these are all resources. Food, your house, your clothing. When you recognize the abundance of the resources you already have and your ability to attract resources to you, you've got the 3420. You're going to be busy doing things. So when you recognize the wealth of resources you have around you, I think this whole money thing will shift for you because you will recognize you are already abundant. And you can help other people learn that lesson too, because this 21 is a gift that you contribute to others. There are so many people out there struggling with this whole money prosperity thing. And you are probably already experiencing this Chiron energy shift, right? So it's like 48 to 52, and you could feel it even 2 years before the actual return. So you are already in that realm. So recognize the worth, the resources that you have all around you. And then your gifts of Jupiter, 34 and 14, will start producing more resources for you.
The attitude of gratitude. I love it. All right, we're bouncing back up to Alana for Katarina, asking if you can talk about the relationship between Saturn and Jupiter in their chart.
Hi, Katarina. So as a generator and at age 28, you are right in the heart of your first Saturn return. So I encourage you to get a chart that can show and depict your Saturn return, because there's a lot of moving energies and things that will further support you in this time right now. And what really jumps out at me is the gate 13 is a very experiential sensing energy. Hold on 1 second. I have a child here. No, thank you. I'm busy right now. So the gate 13 off the identity center, this is what you're going to already be feeling right now, is the ability to truly listen, the ability to forgive, and working on rewriting kind of the story that you're holding on to. And I want you to understand the importance of it being experiential. You have this whole channel, the 1333. This energy needs time to understand or understand what you've gone through, right? Whatever that experience is. And sometimes with the experiential, and I have this circuitry, we just want to keep diving into the next experience. And we need to pause and give ourselves the ability to really integrate what we've learned from it, what we experienced from it. And Saturn's here to support you with all of that. Recognizing you're here to listen to your sacral, that you're here to listen to whatever it is that's here to support you, that you also having this defined throat, but being a generator and also needing to wait to respond to anything that's showing up, that you're allowing others to also listen. Here's the piece that I want to caution, because I have your full chart and I can kind of see in that top left corner, you're right-brained. So you process everything and it's in flow, and you might not always feel like you can truly focus in and listen. So this is going to be what you're here to master. And ultimately that's going to unlock the blessings of being able to, on that experiential side, that sensing side of the gate 64 in the head, that you get to really open up to these bigger possibilities. You're going to see the bigger picture, and you love to live in that space because you have 3 right brain aspects. So being able to really be in that flow, you're going to see the blessings of knowing what visions and possibilities are out there, which ones you're going to want to hold on to, and which ones you're going to ask the universe to bring to you so you can respond to it. That's also going to help you in the gate 59 with that sacral energy. The other blessing is just understanding that there's a huge gift in the gate 59 for you being able to seek out and want to kind of connect emotionally to others and be able to really take a stand and move forth in a way that you're here to be supported and support others, and to do it in a way, because you're kind of seeking that gate 6 in a diplomatic way, right? We don't have to go to war. That the blessings are that you're here to ultimately sustain yourself, sustain others, and just pulling it all together. I feel like this is a really great place for you to be in this first Saturn return, to understand it now as you're in it and as you're young, because that way you just become more and more masterful in really allowing all these blessings to come through. So thank you, Katarina.
Beautiful. Thank you. Oh, I'm going to zoom back up. There we go. All right, Maria, the next question is from Jane. So she has an interesting question where she addresses an NDE as well. I don't know if you want to talk about that, but
yeah, definitely.
Okay, perfect. So her Chiron and her birth chart is in gate 21, which is what you're seeing here. And then in her NDE Chiron is in gate 18 and 48. And so they're asking for any insights you might be able to give about their Chiron.
I love this question because, first of all, hi, Jane. And thank you for bringing forward this question, because NDE stands for near-death experience. And here's the way that we look at it. First, we look at what was your Chiron asking of you natally. And you have the 21 on both sides. So the 21, we've had some good discussions on that. And I'm going to add another little piece to this, which is you were born, you came in with tons of resources, the potential for tons of resources to develop. And Chiron is going to be calling you to develop those resources more and more fully, and to share them more and more generously from the heart. And Chiron is going to put you in positions where you're challenged with that. And as you bring forward meeting those challenges with enthusiasm, with courage, with determination, you're going to start mastering the use of your resources, your self-worth. You have a defined will center. So that's going to come forward. And then at a certain point, and that was all for you this time, at a certain point, you had a near-death experience. So what happens when that brings to you the gate 18 and the gate 48? A wonderful thing happens. Both of these are asking you to up-level the game of the 21. So it's that you're going to bring in the gate 48, which is the wisdom and going deep. So you're going to be going deep into your resources to bring forward more for you and more to share with others, going deep into your courage and just really learning about it. What does it mean to be this amazing, have the amazing potential of so many resources to share, and how you will do that. And the gate 18 is such a wonderful gate. If we look at it, it is there on the spleen center, and it's down there at the bottom. And the gate 18 is actually swinging toward joy. So it's saying to you, all right, let's notice what needs to be mastered here. What improvements with my natural resources, and bringing them forward and sharing them more fully, really being in my self-worth and trusting that my needs are going to be met. And so the gate 18 knows immediately what needs to be improved. And let's take those small steps to bring that forward for ourselves, to keep increasing the value and the beauty of the 21 in oneself and sharing with others. So I love to look at when there is I've had one myself. So when I look at this in my own chart and I see how I was up-leveled, I was being called to up-level with the new energies that came in. That's how I like to see it. I don't like to see, oh my gosh, now I've got the gate 18. That can be problematic if I just burst forward to other people. Oh, you should change the furniture this way and that. Gate 18 can want to do that. But you want to keep this to yourself, because this is about how you bring yourself more forward in the world as the beautiful being and soul that you have to share. So there we are.
Thank you for speaking to that NDE experience. I think a lot of people in our community have probably had that. So thank
A
you.
lot have, yes. Yeah, I agree.
All right, Maggie, this is from Jodea. I'm so sorry. Wondering about the energetic theme of Chiron in their chart. So let me zoom in there.
Hi, Jody or Jodea or whatever your beautiful name is. Thank you for your question. And I don't see that we have a birth date, right? Am I missing that? So
No, it's not on here.
yeah, I don't think we have one. So we don't really know where you are in relation to your Chiron return. And that's something that you might want to kind of check out for yourself. But so you have your Chiron is in the 37, which is on the emotional solar plexus, and in the 63, which is up in the head. Okay. And so you've got a really classic kind of dance of energies going on here, where I was talking before, where you want to be able to find a way for them to really dance with each other, and for you to value both of them, and not to have them be canceling each other out or warring with each other, because it could happen with these two different energies. Because on the one hand, with the 63, that is the beginning of the logic circuit, which is, in traditional human design, it's called the gate of doubt. And in quantum human design, we associate it more with curiosity, which I really love, because if you think about where the scientific method really begins with, it doesn't begin with, I doubt that. It begins with, I'm curious about that. I wonder what's true about that. And then we come up with a hypothesis, and then we try to prove it. So it's this beautiful kind of curiosity energy of, I wonder about things. It's not the same kind of wonder as we've got in the knowing circuit, but it is a curiosity and an interest to go into things. But it can also go into that doubting place in its lower expression. And that doubting can be kind of dismissive and pushing things off and kind of hard. Whereas the 37 is this just beautiful, harmonious energy. It's emotional. It wants harmony. I mean, the kind of shadow side of it is it can want harmony at the kind of be the peacemaker and want harmony at the cost of clarity, for example, or equity or justice or something like that. But it can also be it's part of the channel of the bargain. And so it's part about how do we actually negotiate, and you've got the 40 already defined in your chart. So you're going to have that. If we think of it in relationship to your Chiron in the 37, it's also about how do we come up with agreements? How do we make things work for everyone in a harmonious way so that we have harmony? And you don't want the doubt coming in, kind of always throwing off that desire to create these agreements that work. Instead, you want to really fuel that curiosity to be wondering how that could come about, and to be soliciting others so that you can put this together, and to be sitting in more of that place of, this can be worked out. We can do this with harmony, and all of your personal energies. I love a lot of what you said, understand. I love that, where you can understand your own energies, but then also how you can have that perspective with other people as well.
Yes, absolutely. And they're actually live with us on the call. They said their birthday is in 1964. So they're 56. So they would have recently gone through that Chiron return. So
right. And so one of the things to look at would be what kind of healing might need to be done around the things I just talked about. And if you did it, you might have already done it earlier in your life. And if you did, congratulate yourself. Celebrate, love yourself. And if you've still got, some resonance of it, take a look at it and see how you might still work with it.
Absolutely. Thank you. All right, Sandra. Kelsey would love to know about the energetic theme of Chiron in their chart as well.
Hello, Kelsey. So I want to talk about Chiron in the gate 12 within the context of the rest of your chart. So you have a triple split. And what really draws my attention is the one that goes from the sacral center to the identity center, the 2946. So commitment, you might really be into projects and get committed to causes and things like that. And then the 4426 is about sales. So it's like not knowing anything about you. I say that you might be really into making things happen and out there selling, or, you know, really active and out there doing things with an unmotorized throat. So just kind of recognizing that. So looking at Chiron, you have lessons in growth and contribution around being still. And I decided to look up the lines for this gate. So gate 12, line 6, transforming. Amazing changes can come from periods of standstill. Taking the time to pause in whatever business you may have and actually look like, what's really right here? What do I need to pay attention to? Are there signs that I'm getting that maybe I'm going past? Okay. And then gate 12, line 5, establishing, aligning with those aspects of your nature that are empowering. Like, what am I not taking full value of, taking full advantage of that I already have? Where are my strengths maybe that could be more fully employed because I'm finally aware? It's like, oh, I haven't been paying attention to that. Is that something maybe that I can use, that I can benefit from, or that can help other people? Can I serve more? Another part of the 12, line 5, you know who, what, and where are empowering, and either utilize this gift or disregard it. Are there gifts? Are there benefits? Are there abilities? Are there perspectives that maybe you aren't utilizing to the highest that can help you serve better, that can help you be of more contribution to the world? And I also looked at your Jupiter. You have Jupiter in the gate 42 and the gate 3. So it's like, how can you maybe, by making some small adjustments, help to finish some things off that maybe need to be finished through the things that you're contributing to, the causes you're contributing to?
Thank you, Sandra. Alana, we're coming back to you for Monica's question. They're curious about the Chiron energy in their chart, especially with gate 12, and how that might relate to their completely open throat. And they're aware of the new language that names this the channel, and definitely finding insights and divine wisdom that simply emerge from their throat, especially with their completely open head, and when they're with the correct people who encourage and invite that wisdom. And finding other energies activate their throat when it's correct and people are desiring of that information, that it's like the divine comes through their throat, hooking in the audience, delivering the most eloquent, succinct, and perfect wisdom for them.
Hi, Moni. I love that you are this brilliant projector. You have all of this openness, and the fact that your throat is completely open. And we say completely open because you'll see there's no hanging gates. And really, there's a really cool thing I want you to be experimenting with, and the whole world, all of us can be playing with this. The North Node is sitting in the gate 12, and Neptune is sitting in the gate 22. So all of us right now are getting emotional, individual energy. And I feel like this is a great way for you to experiment with what does it feel like for that 12 to truly be present, that you're getting these energies, and what it feels like to have the emotional wave come through in a way when the mood is there. Now you may be able to articulate and recognizing, because this is individual circuitry, what you're here to bring through. There's a translation that has to happen. You're connected so divinely with source that the words aren't just going to come in unless the timing is right. And for you to really have that energy, as kind of you were talking about, hooking them in or being eloquent, it really depends on the energy of the mood and the timing that's going to come through for you to truly give whatever message is meant to come. Now you are a projector and you have such a divine connection. You have the full heart chakra, both sides, both aspects. And there's such a healing aspect to you. And I really feel like your words are healing. And there's a recognition piece, right? That you need the invitation. You need to be seen to be able to share all of this eloquence, all this articulation and beauty. And within kind of that standstill, it's all about the timing. So also experiment with getting permission, asking permission. If something just suddenly comes to you, it's okay for you to use the energy to invite somebody else into the conversation, to open up that dialogue, to ask what you have to share. And as you wait for these right invitations and recognition pieces, more and more people are going to see you for this brilliance that you bring, and they're going to allow for you to come and drop in and just share whatever divine source is wanting to bring to the planet. So have fun with this energy. I'm really excited for all this wisdom and brilliance that you bring. So thank you, Moni.
Yes, it did sound like she just described the 12, doesn't it? Yeah. All right, Maria, Daniela is 28. And next year, well, you're kind of already starting in your Saturn return. So wondering what she should take into consideration to bring out the most masterful nature of her Saturn in gates 19 and 40 and receive the blessings of her Jupiter in gate 40 and 64.
Absolutely. Hi, Daniela. What a perfect question for this timing in your life, and to be able to enter into your Saturn return or be in your Saturn return, seeking the mastery of what Saturn holds for you, what this master teacher is asking you to master. And in your Saturn, you have the 19. And this is a gate of the highly sensitive person, and you can be highly sensitive in many ways, one of which is to the environment, the energies in the environment, even on like a chemical, a physical level, also to sensitive to emotional energies, mental energies, beliefs and things. And you're very sensitive to other people. You kind of know what they need and want. And the mastery here is that you don't get pulled away with because when we're highly sensitive, we can get pulled away. But what you want to do is kind of bring yourself into being fully present, being able to be in connection with other people in a way that is deeply intimate, but where you hold your own boundaries for yourself, you hold the wholeness for yourself and for others at the same time. This is a real gift, and it's a challenging thing to master. You're also very sensitive to animals, so there's a lot going on here with the 19. It's a really just deeply, deeply sensitive energy. On the other side, you've got the 41. So again, it's about holding this bigger, exciting vision for the future. And it comes off the root center. So it's a divinely inspired vision. And being able to hold that and bring your sensitivity to it, to keep embellishing it, keep bringing it forward, and in a very beautiful way. And when we look at the center, the energy center at the very bottom of your chart, this is about adrenaline energy, and you have nearly all the gates, all but one, are defined. And so when this center is defined, it works in a pulse, on, off, on, off. Let it be a dance of on and off. So you need to be responding to, what is my pulse on for? Is it time to envision my dream? Is it time to work with my sensitivities here? Is it time to bring them together? Because it's always, we look at the differences in between any planet's gates, and then we unify them and bring them together. And as you do that, you will find yourself moving into that beautiful 40, which is can be like a real commitment and devotion to community, where we can get so involved, and then we need to go, as we've discussed before here today, go and take time alone. Have very strong boundaries for taking time alone for yourself. Get as nourished and refreshed as you need. Because while you're off on time alone, look at the other side of your Jupiter. You have the 64. You have time to get these amazing downloads coming from the divine that are going to add inspiration to the vision you're carrying, and inspiration to how you can use your sensitivity to serve the world, serve yourself and serve the world. That's it. So that's kind of a lovely combination for your Jupiter. And you're going to be working with these throughout your life. Saturn is always calling us to really master what's there so that we can really shine in the Jupiter. And it's all about having boundaries so that we serve ourselves well, and then we serve the world well. So yeah, and enjoy it. These are amazing energies to have. Yeah. And you're just beginning this journey with your first, because the first Saturn return, I just want to say, this is where we really move out of childhood into maturity. So what a beautiful way to enter.
Mm-hmm. Serving yourself so you can serve the world. Absolutely. I feel like that's a good description of the 40 also.
Yeah.
All right, Maggie, Esther would love to know about her Saturn-Jupiter relationship.
Hi, Esther. Thank you for your chart and your question. And so your Saturn is in the 1 and in the 43. Now, this is such an incredible combination. And so, like we've all been saying, is your Saturn is like your teacher, right? And so it can be a challenge. But it's also, even in and of itself, as you work with it, it's a huge blessing. So the 43 is known as the genius freak gate. Okay. It's part of, you also have the 24. So you've got the beginning of the knowing circuit. And that means that you're plugged into super consciousness, and you're going to be downloading ideas. And you're also just going to have this inner sense of knowing about things. It's a very individual energy. And, but it's not something that other people are necessarily going to understand. So it's really important for you to be expressing, which is what your 1 wants to do, right? Your 1 is about your self-expression. So your 1 is going to want to express what you're getting from your 43, that you need to make sure that you're doing that at a time when people are ready to hear what it is that you have to say. And so that could be a real learning process for you throughout your life, right? Because on the one hand, you have this enthusiasm coming out of your G center that is fueled by your sacral, right? You've got your energy from your sacral running right up into your G center. So you're going to want to express yourself, which is beautiful. You definitely want to do that. And your 1 is double defined because your Venus is also there. So it's also your womanly energy. So you're going to want to be able to express yourself from that kind of feminine energy place, which is compassionate and beautiful, kind, caring, that can also have a fierceness to it as well. And then you've got that 43, which is going to be just like giving you crazy, awesome things to think about. But it's going to be a little outside of how most people think. So if you've had any pain around that, just know that that is not unusual. I have the 43 too. I totally get it. And you, as you learn to master that dynamic, then you're going to receive the blessings of your Jupiter, which are in the 53, which is in the 53 and the 56. So I think it was Alana who was talking earlier about that 53, which is this energy for starting things. But again, it's also about timing. Just like sharing the 40, what comes through the 43 is about timing, so is this energy to begin things. And because you are a generator, you're going to want to do that in response. So we've got a theme going on here. But the thing is when you master these energies, you've got this incredible storytelling ability, which is your 56. And you'll notice that all of these, I think, well, 3 of them. So the 56 is a hanging gate, and then your 1 and your 43 are both electromagnetics to your throat. So when you have a lot of electromagnetics to your throat, which does mean that you have this teaching quality. You have this ability to pick up lots of different ways of expressing yourself and lots of different ways of expressing and manifesting with this throat energy. I mean, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You've got 8 ways for your throat to get defined. So this can be a challenge because sometimes you might want to blurt, right, with that energy that wanting to express, or speaking at not the right time and no one's listening. But if you master the timing of these things, you have just an incredible powerhouse here for you around how you can express and manifest in your life when you get the timing right and when you know that people are ready and interested in listening.
It's all about the timing.
All about the
All right, Sandra, this one's for you from Terry. They have recently had some life changes and know that their life's purpose, and thought they knew their life's purpose, but now spirit is guiding them down another path. And they're wondering if you can tell from their chart what themes for their life purpose as it relates to Saturn and Jupiter. And the chart's a little blurry, so I did write them down. Saturn's in 9 and 34, and Jupiter in the 30 and the 19.
Hello, Terry. So when we look at your Saturn and Jupiter, this becomes a conversation about your incarnation cross, which is a lot about what your life purpose is. So it's perfect conversation because the 34 in your Saturn activates the whole 3420, which is the busiest channel in the chart. And the 9 is on the sacral there. And that's part of your incarnation cross on the, the 30. The 30 is on part of your incarnation cross as well. So for your Jupiter. So I look at your chart and I notice that you have single definition with lots of individuality and lots of busyness. So you may be really busy, particularly with that 3420. And with the 9, you might have issues with being busy, but not necessarily focusing on the right thing. Like you might be running around doing a lot, and it sounds like that's kind of changed. So what you were putting all that energy into might not be what's there for you in the same way now. So it's like, what is the message? Maybe slow down and focus on the right things, right? So it's like with the Jupiter, the 30 has the intensity to hold on until the time is right, which means you kind of have to wait a little bit and see what the signs are coming in about what is there for me to do. Okay, so it's like you being someone who might be running around doing things busy. It's like, woo, slow down, focus on the right things, and then the gifts of Jupiter will come to you. Your conscious sun is also the gate 30. This is part of that incarnation cross thing. And the conscious sun is what you do in all areas of life. So it's like, it can be something you do or some things you don't do. So it's like having that focus on what is the right thing, holding on to the dream until the time is right. So sometimes you might be running around busy and not actually taking the time to really focus and hold on, but just run. So it's like maybe to pay a little bit more attention to your conscious sun so that its gift can come to you through Jupiter. So it's like bringing you the gift of the things that you want to hold on to. The 19, so it's like wants to hold on to things. So it's like letting go maybe of some of the patterns of being too busy and allowing yourself to slow down so that you can see what's really there. And this can apply really to any type of work or career or pastime that you're going with. So it's like, what feels right? Slowing down enough.
Mm-hmm. Telling someone with a 3420 to slow down. Look out. All right, Alana, we're coming to you for Samantha Ann's question about how Saturn and Jupiter affects their chart. These planets have spent a lot of time during 2020 in Capricorn, which is their ascendant sign. So,
hi, Sam. All right, so taking a look here, and just to mention that Capricorn is that energy where it's really supporting us as we're birthing into the Aquarian age, right? We've kind of been there, we've been doing the dance, but once Pluto enters that in 2027, we're going to be officially in the Aquarian age. So just look at kind of seeing that all the changes that are coming, it's helping us to be more adaptive. And I think for you with the Saturn aspect in the gate 52 off the root, taking that eagle perspective, right? Being that bird in the sky and really just being able to hone in, concentrate to see whatever it is you need to see. But it takes that element of patience and waiting. And because this is a root energy that's activated for you and connects to the rest of your chart, it is part of logic, and you have another logical channel. Just recognizing that there is a timing, that you're waiting for the pieces to kind of fall in place, that you're waiting for that big picture to kind of fall in, for it to connect more deeply to your focus, so that you're going to move into action when that timing is right. And it also, the Saturn is also sitting in the gate 15, where there's a lot of compassion off of this identity, where we have this love of humanity, or we're learning to find the love of humanity, right? As all of the things are changing in the world, finding that compassion and recognizing that the energies run in extremes. So some of the extremes we're seeing today in our society, in the world around us, Mother Nature is having massive extremes that we've never seen, like 5 tornadoes at once, or fire-nados, or things that are going on, that we're learning to be adaptive and to know that, yes, things have always been kind of linear and logical, because that is a logical gate, but sometimes we have to just be ready to be in flow. And so Saturn is imploring you to really be adaptive and be able to take that piece of having the concentration, moving it into being more in flow and adaptive, so that you're opening up the blessings that also come off the root with the gate 41. This is about dreaming energy. This is the start of the human design year, the gate 41. This is the energy where you're waiting to have that vision and you're holding it, where you're seeking to connect it with your deepest passion, intensity, desires. It's kind of like Napoleon Hill always talking about having a burning desire. It starts with the vision in the 41, and it's seeking to be able to connect to the emotion where you can be so creative and really bring that vision to light. That's the blessings that are here for you to be able to really honor and take advantage of and put forth when you're able to respond, and be able to share it in a way that you're also recognized, because you have that undefined throat. So hopefully that was helpful, Sam. Thank you.
I'm going to go back and listen to that later. Thanks, Alana. All right, Maria, this one's for you. I don't know your first name, Jay, but wondering what the energetic theme of Chiron in their chart is, and how they can develop and use these energies in the second half of their life after age 55 towards their life purpose.
Well, hi, Jay. I'm smiling because your Chiron actually lends you to having all 3 head gates a feature of your chart. And you're kind of, and that's where we have mystery, awe, connection with the divine, huge downloads and inspiring ideas, and then self-doubt about what the heck, why did I get this, And so your name is a mystery. And so that's what I was smiling about. It so fits. And so you want to know, okay, what is this energetic theme of Chiron in my chart? So when we drop down here to your Chiron, you have the 63, and that's the 3rd head gate, which when we look at your chart up there in the top, the 63 isn't highlighted because at the time you were born, Chiron hadn't quite come in yet. And so but it is there as an influence in your life. It's a spiritual directive in your life. And this is around being challenged by self-doubt, doubt of what are these downloads I'm getting? Because with your 64, you're going to get some big picture things coming to you, and you're going to go, what is this about? What am I supposed to do with this? You know, and sometimes people can be overwhelmed, and other times they can be just inspired with it. And then the 61 next door is about connecting with the wonder and awe of the divine, of the great mystery. And again, we can have some really surprising things come to us. And so with the 63 in Chiron, there can be a lot of doubt around doubting oneself, doubting, why am I getting these inspirations? But this is where I wish I could move the cursor, but those three gates are where we actually connect with the quantum field. So it's very powerful to have all these activities. So throughout your life, Chiron is going to be saying, wow, look at these things that are coming to you. And also look at your 4323, connecting your throat and your ajna, because you are designed to have out of the box creative ideas, extraordinary ideas that you want to bring down into simple explanations, and then only share them with the people who really care about hearing what you have to share. And so here's another place where self-doubt can come in. Like, am I crazy? Where did I get? I'm getting all these ideas, and then I think out of the box. So, hey, you know, so you're going to have all these opportunities to refine self-doubt and ask questions instead. Be curious, be saying, okay, well, let's ask about this then. Am I crazy? No. Where can I take this that will really expand myself and the world, and use these ideas to stimulate dreams, new possibilities and potentials? I mean, really, that's what that 4323 is about. And it's also known as the Freak to Genius channel. If you share these extraordinary ideas you have with people who aren't receptive, or at the wrong time, or in the wrong place, you sound like a freak. But if you share with the right people in the right time, in the right place, as clearly as you can, you will be seen as a genius. And what you have to share is so highly valued. And you are here to become very, very wise. You have a lot of emptiness in your chart. And so a dear friend of mine says, in all my open gates, I'm like a little butterfly flying around and sampling the nectar of all the qualities of this center. And then I choose who is really me. And that is like such a stroke of wisdom, you know. And anyway, so just be your butterfly in all those centers, and don't get hauled away off track by other people's ideas or things like that from the environment. So there you go. Enjoy it.
I love that.
Yeah.
Be a butterfly. All right. I think we have time for just a couple more this morning. So Maggie, this will be for you. Diane, oh, good Lord, I'm sorry, would like to know about the energetic theme of Chiron in their chart, especially at 79 years old. It sounds like their Chiron is in gates 33 and 56, and they did not submit a chart, so we'll just go based on the question.
Okay, great. Hi, Diane or Dion. Yeah, I love this question. And the thing I want to see, both of these, your Chiron is in two different storytelling gates. Okay. And the fact that you are 79 years old, I imagine you have a lot of really, really good stories to tell. And so, but you may also, when you were younger, have had some wounding around telling your story. And you're the kind of person that other people may want to confess to. I don't know if you've had that experience where people come and they want to share their stories with you. They want to confess to you. I've known a number of people in my life who say, yeah, I don't know why why? I'm like in the grocery store and somebody wants to tell me their story. Like, what's going on with that? So you may be one of those people for whom you've had that experience. And it's really about this kind of beautiful witness consciousness to be able to hold space for people to tell their stories. But then for you to be able to know when the time is right, that you can retell people's stories in a really respectful and beautiful way. And you may or may not ever mention who that person is, but that you can transmute the story into a teaching. And then with the 56, this is a sign of a master storyteller and a teacher. And so you put these two together and you've just got such powerful storytelling possibilities. And so the thing that I would just say to you is, are you writing your autobiography? Are you writing a memoir? Are you recording your stories somehow? Are you telling the stories of things that have happened for you in your life, and for stories of other people that have been in your life and that you think that would be beneficial for others to be able to learn from? So I think that would be a marvelous thing for you to be doing in your life right now, if you're not already. And I think that we would have a tremendous amount to learn from you. And so because you do have the storytelling, teaching, sharing the benefits isn't quite the right word, but the richness and the value of the stories that you've received and the ways that you can run them through your own system and come out with this deep wisdom as a result. Let us know when your memoir is available.
Yes, absolutely. All right, I think just for today, this will be our last question. So Sandra, last one's for you. This is Martin, and wants to know about the energetic theme of Chiron and how it affects their life purpose as it relates to their artwork specifically.
Hello, Martin. We can do this quickly. So looking at your Chiron in the gate 22, that's about your creativity and your artwork. Looking at the gate 63, the 63, like Maria was just talking about, up there in the head with the 61 and the 64. So it's like you're receiving all of this insight and information, things that you just know, downloads. And then what your artwork helps you do, I think, is helps you take all of that inspiration, put it into your artwork, and help you convey it to the public in a way that they can understand it. Right? To make these possibly, nebulous things coming in and really convey those concepts in a way that people can really benefit and understand and relate to them.
Yes, to all of that. All righty. Well, I said it at the beginning. I knew we weren't going to get through everyone's questions, so I'm sorry to everyone. And just so you know, we do answer the questions in the order they're received. So there was no, selection or whatever of the questions. It's just whoever emailed first got their questions answered first. So I just want you to know that. Thank you to all of our panelists. You all are amazing and brilliant and wise. Thank you for sharing. I've learned so much from you today. So thank you. I love hearing your perspectives. I want to give everyone watching the opportunity to know where they can find you and to keep taking advantage of your wisdom, either through a reading or other offerings you have. So we'll keep going in order. And Alana, if you want to tell people where they can find you and any other ways they might be able to engage with your wisdom.
Yes, I just want to thank each and every one of you for submitting. And I wanted to just keep going, right? The projector is like energized here. I love doing this. You can find me at prosperityalignment.com. And I have a Courage to Thrive program. Some of you are in here, I see you, and you're part of this program. So if you want deeper support, this is how I coach. So I just go wherever you need me. The whole intention of the program is to support you as we go through the splenic energies that literally start on Saturday for the next 6 weeks, and ultimately focusing on supporting you with manifesting whatever it is you want with the idea of aligning with your prosperity. That's the essence of who I am. That's how prosperity alignment came. So I'll put that in the chat. And I just want to say thank you so much, Betsy, for hosting this and keeping us on track. And to each of you panelists, you all are so amazing. And everyone, I just love you all. So thank you.
echo all of that. Perfect. All right. Well, Alana will put more details in the chat there. Maria, please tell everyone how they can find you.
Yes, I can be found at my very simple website, mariamasters.com, because I like all my energy to go into the world in a different way than most people. But I love one-to-one and I love teaching. And actually, I have the 56 and the 33, and I was a therapeutic storyteller with children in the oral tradition now for 40 years. And I love storytelling. And that's why when I look at a chart, I get so excited because I see the potential and the story that's there that enriches everyone's life. I can also be found at quantumalignmentsystem.com among the many wonderful specialists. And so that's how you can reach me. And just thank you so much. This is such a beautiful morning for us West Coast folks. Thank you to everyone. Many blessings.
Yes, yes, perfect. All right, Maggie, how can everyone find you?
Well, I also want to express my appreciation. This was really fun because, these friends of mine, I see you in class, but I don't get to hear your brilliance that much. So it's been just delightful to receive that. I learned a lot too. So I am a sovereignty expert. I work on feminine sovereignty, which is for all genders. It's not about what gender you are. It's really about the quality of the sovereignty that we are embodying and expressing in the world. And you can find me at sovereigntybydesign.com. So that's my full human design website. So you can go and check it out. There is a variety of free resources that are on there. There's videos, there's articles. There's also a resource library that you can join if you want to get even more in-depth trainings, and that's free. And then I also have a What's Your Feminine Sovereignty Archetype quiz that I completed recently and have been playing around with a lot. People have been loving taking it. And you can find that at sovereignquiz.com. And if you do take it, I would love to get your feedback on it because it is kind of new. And there's a beautiful video that you get that explains your archetype to you. And you'll also get a report later and the opportunity to do another masterclass with me where you learn about all the archetypes. So if you like archetypes, which of course human design is all about archetypes. And if you're interested in the sense of sovereignty, then please go check it out. And I'd love to hear from you.
Beautiful. And Maggie, if I remember correctly, you had a logo design where the body graph was a female form, didn't you? I remember seeing
that's
that.
my logo. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And the centers are inside the body.
That's right.
Out there somewhere.
Yes, absolutely. All right, Sandra, where can we find you?
Hi, I'm Sandra Lee, and my website is miracleinspirations.com. I do biofield tuning as well as human design. So I do biofield tuning and human design together. I've got a group session series of 3 biofield tuning sessions, Creating the Future. It's going to be going soon, and so I'd love to have you join. You get to contribute your personal issues and intentions in the biofield tuning session. And so I encourage you to make a list of the things you have going on. And if there's aspects of your human design that you struggle with, we can definitely work with that. And I've also got a free gift available, Success with Your Projects. So I've put links to that information there, helping you heal.
Absolutely. Thank you all again so much. I'm on a little bit of a high right now from all the good vibes. So thank you to everyone who attended. We'll be posting a replay of this event sometime by tomorrow. And you can always go back and watch and listen. I feel like there's always borrowed benefits from looking at other people's charts and hearing how we talk about that as well. So loving you all. Have a beautiful rest of your Wednesday. Thank you again to our wise specialists, and we will see you soon. Bye, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye.
Yay, thanks.